For December 2021. My name is Gary Bell. I am the chairman of our board. With us to my far right, we have Hattie Norris. She is our co-chair and member at large for the Rescue Association. Next to her is J.A. Nelson, president of our Fire Board Association. And to my immediate right here is C.P. Medinsky, our fire chief. To my far left, we have Steve Walker, our Emergency Services Director. Then we have Mr. Ken Hicks, the President of the Rescue Association, and Sean Davidson, our Rescue Chief. With that, we'll go ahead and call our meeting to order with review and approval of our minutes.
A motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
We have a motion by CP and second by Sean to approve the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So ordered. With that, we'll go into, I guess, nothing with presentation, committee reports, any old business. All right, we'll go into the CAD replacement. Steve?
So CAD replacement, I'd love to give you some really good news, but I can tell you we are in really good shape. I think within a week or two, we'll get some very, very good and positive news. I think we're right where we need to be, and again, we'll have some really good information here next week or so. And can't get into too much more because it's still a procurement issue, but we are right at the end of this, and it's good news. So, but I will, as soon as I get definitive, I'll put that out to all the rescue squads, and we'll put some more information out. So, but we're in good shape. Very, very good. Very happy with where we are on that. So,
All right, any questions for Steve? Any comments? EMS supplemental staffing.
So supplemental staffing, so we're doing pretty good as far as doing the coverage. The requests continue to increase from the rescue squads. I really can't explain, why, where we are and why it's occurring. We're doing a really good job of tracking the numbers right now, and we're about 67% the career are running the actual calls, and that's basic life support. Advanced life support is actually, and again, I really can't explain it, but we're about 87, 88%, and that's for the past 4 months. In July, we were about 63%, then we went to about 84, 85, and now we're right about 88%, and that's career running it as opposed to volunteer. Can't explain it why that's occurring, but that's where it is. We're doing a fair job of covering it, but it's very, very challenging trying to keep that schedule covered. Kirsten, I know, Sean, you talk about her all the time. She's a rock star in what she does. She's working very hard, but it's challenging. We need more staff. We're building a budget right now to ask for that, to increase that. It's probably going to come in very close to what Sean and others in the rescue squad come out with last year. So, we'll be going pretty much right back on that to add to that staff. Certainly, there's a time we'll come back and we'll present the whole budget to you. A lot of equipment requests, vehicle requests, just to be able to make the system work. So right now, the way we're able to do this is through hourly employees that we've hired. And again, it's challenging, but we're holding it together and making it work. So any questions, I'll be glad to try and answer.
Yeah, Director Walker, do you have adequate hourly employees? I mean, are you getting enough?
We do, but it's challenging because many of them are working full-time somewhere else. We do continue to hire more, and we continue to interview, so that continues. It's just challenging, and again, we're getting it done, but boy, it's tough keeping it where it needs to be. So
I just didn't know if we could help by maybe putting something out to all of the chiefs at the department.
That's not a bad idea, and maybe I will send something out to all the chiefs and ask them to distribute more. So Hourlies, we're continuing, and we're continuing to look for them, and we'll hire more and more. So right now, we have, let's see, we started out, remember that 16 full-time EMTs and 4 paramedics. And I think paramedics, we've got about 10 or 12, and I'm not sure if the numbers are accurate, but it's close, of the hourlies. And then we probably have around 50 or 60 hourlies of the EMTs, and again, we can use more. So, but we're getting it done, but we need to take the next step and really follow what was recommended last year. So we'll be pursuing that. So, but it's working.
All right, Harris Radio System.
So Harris Radio System is working well. You know that the area that we're having a problem with is our VHF paging. The P25 system paging actually works fairly well. Of course, we bought those pagers, but there's many members that are using the VHF. And really, when you think about this, we're trying to maintain 2 systems. The VHF was intended to be rolled into as a backup, and we're still using it as a primary. And we're going to continue doing that, but we're starting to now look at how we can migrate to, 100% V25. That's probably a year or 2 out, but that's what we're going to begin to look at. The VHF system is what's called Master 3s. And that's very old technology. And a lot of that equipment, it's becoming very, very difficult to find that. So we just need to start to make that next step. Now, in your rescue squads and firehouses, the alerting is based off of VHF. So that will have to be addressed too. But again, we're just beginning to look at how to address that. But again, as you know, I hear from CP&J all the time about the VHF paging. We're trying hard to keep it up and going, but it's just getting old, and we need to decide how we're going to move forward on making it all work. So, but anyway, it's the radio system, knock on wood, working well, and the paging, we're doing our best to keep it up and going. So, any questions?
Emergency Services Report.
I don't, that's kind of like to fill anything. I think we've covered pretty much anything. If you guys got any questions, we are actively working through our budget right now. I think we've received all of the budgets from all of the departments. I don't think there's anybody outstanding, so we're good. But I mean, everything seems to be going as smooth as it can. So,
LoSAP.
The LoSAP board meets next week, and so they'll forward at that time the recommendations that we had that we endorsed last meeting for the commissioners.
Right. Any questions for that?
When do they meet, Sean?
Tuesday?
I think it's Tuesday. It's the 14th. Tuesday the 14th?
Right.
That rings right in my head. I'm like 95% sure that's true.
Yep, Tuesday's the 14th.
You haven't heard anything, I mean, since our recommendation from the commissioners or as far as the committee?
No.
Any feedback or? Okay.
No. We met with the county administrator about it and
Gotcha.
provided her with the feedback about it, and we haven't heard anything more since then.
Perfect. Cadet program, Kelly?
Well, I have a great update in that we have 5 out of our 8 cadets will be taking their practical skills exam on Monday. And then after that, those 5 students will be eligible to move forward with their cognitive exam. And we anticipate them all to do well. We know it's a very challenging exam, but Instructor Szymanski is right behind them and has offered lots of additional assistance. So I believe they will all be successful in, fingers crossed, we'll have 5 new EMTs out there on the street very shortly. The cadets will remain at CSM through December 17th. We've worked with CSM about this. We just feel it would be an easier transition because after December 17th, the students will go on winter break, and then when they return January 3rd, that is when we would like to do the transition to Hollywood Fire Department. And then that's when they would start their fire courses.
And it gives them an opportunity to do the prep for the registry exam and all that stuff.
Yes.
Do you know, are they going to be able to do the registry exam in the testing center here, or are they going to have to go to La Plata for that?
So they will be able to do it in Leonardtown, which is great, because then it alleviates additional pressures and time.
Sure.
So absolutely, that is wonderful. Tomorrow afternoon, EMS leadership, fire leadership, the school system, and MIFRE, everyone's been invited. St. Mary's County government leadership has been invited to participate in a meeting to discuss changes that the Maryland State Department of Education is implementing for all high school fire EMS cadet programs. So we will discuss those updates to the program and how to best implement them. And at least it'll be the first, I'm sure, of many future meetings. And then tomorrow evening, MIFRE leadership will be at the fire chiefs meeting. So I plan to attend that meeting, and just to further solidify the course calendar for this school year with MIFRE.
It's early this month. Is that special?
We're always the second to Thursday.
Since we
I thought
moved
you
ours.
did third Tuesday.
Fire chiefs, not fire board.
Oh, okay. That's why I was confused. I had that on my calendar.
But I told President Hicks I would make sure he received my RSA meeting report ahead of time, so we'd be covered there. Any questions for me?
Hopefully, we'll have successful meetings tomorrow.
Yes, very busy day tomorrow, but thank you. I appreciate everyone's assistance.
I have several appointments tomorrow, so there's no guarantee that I'm done in time. But I believe Jess Myers is planning to be there for you for.
Yes, sir,
Thanks for me.
absolutely. It's definitely a team approach, and I appreciate everyone's support with the cadet program.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda, American Recovery Act fund distribution.
So on the fire department side, Ms. Cudmore from Finance sent over the sub-agreements for the fire departments just before Thanksgiving, so they all were distributed, and everyone has started to make their purchases and get all the stuff back to her as needed. So.
Any information or word on our, as far as Rescue Association, our recommendation from last month?
So I found out on the 17th that they were not going to schedule that particular meeting agenda item with the commissioners until their second meeting in January. So I had just ramped up the whole what the actual hell are you doing to me process when things kind of fell apart for me. So I was not able to push that to try and get it before the end of the year. So it'll be in January before that's on the agenda for the commissioners. So we'll have to take it up again in February.
All right, thank you. Our, I guess, new business, our meeting calendar for 2022.
I'll move to approve the 2022 meeting schedule as presented.
Second.
Motion by JA, second by CP to approve the meeting schedule for the calendar year 2022. Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
It's keeping us on the second Wednesdays, right? Second Wednesdays, even months?
That's what it looked like.
Yep.
Okay. I just didn't get a chance. So, okay, I'm good.
All right, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So ordered. Fire and rescue budget submittals status.
That me?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, again, as you heard me say earlier, we received them all. We, of course, pass them on into the finance department. I don't believe there's any fire and rescue tax requests, right?
No.
So, and that's the only thing that needs endorsement from this board. The rest just goes right on into finance. And I think, everything is the way it should be. So I think we're in good shape.
as far as the, I guess, schedule for what's still owed or what's out there, can Jeanette or Ms. Cudmore give us an
Update on
update on, I guess, the status of the fund?
the low interest
Because
level.
I looked at it, and there was quite a bit of budget, quite a bit of departments asking for monies, within these next couple of years, just to make sure that the fund, there's enough money in the fund.
That's real easy.
So,
That's really, I've got to do is send her an email, she'll shoot it right back.
yeah.
Super easy.
And I think too, and she, because we did look at it once before, because there were some that were behind on payments and stuff like that. It'd probably be good to see that again. It's been probably a year or so since we.
Well, we could ask her to come in February and
Yeah.
go over that with us too.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'd be, she's super easy to work with, so.
That would be great.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because there was some, I know in our Fire Board Association meeting, there was some discussion about maybe raising, I think it's capped at $1 million, I believe.
Yeah, well, it
That's-
was. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's been the.
Yeah, I know some companies, because of the price of, what apparatus had asked, that maybe it'd be raised. Obviously, our ladder truck, costs a lot of money, and I know there's some departments looking to perhaps renovate or build. I saw that in one of their budgets. So I don't know if that's something we can discuss, maybe, like I say, in a different meeting or.
Definitely, I think it's worth discussing because with the inflation of fire apparatus now, with all of the vendors, you're looking at at least minimum 6 to 8%, as high as 12% increase after the first of the year on fire apparatus. So certainly that is going to damper into each department's budget. So I think.
Well, and I think just since we're talking about the hassle of replacement right now, I know ambulance chassis are just impossible to get.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that needs to get said out loud in public is that, hey, guys, while we're planning these things, we need to be looking at everything we can to push out those service lives and plan well ahead of what it is we know we're going to need, because given the microchip business, you can't get you can budget to buy an ambulance all day long, but if you can't get a chassis to put the thing on, it doesn't do you any good.
18 months if you're lucky.
Yeah, well, Brom, we were supposed to
That's
have
where
two.
we are.
We were supposed to have 2 delivered in June, and we're
Yeah.
still waiting. And they have no idea in Brom when they're going to see any.
Yeah, because we're now looking at what we may have to do in the future, and there's some challenges ahead, so.
All right, well, yeah, if Ms. Cudmore could maybe come into our February meeting, that would be good. Any other questions, comments?
Marianne will send her a request.
Thank you, Marianne. That looks like it for new business. Is there any other discussions for new business? If not, we can go into board members. Any board member comments?
I have 2 things, but I want to go last, just.
I got one now. I'd like to send sincere condolences to you, Chief, on your loss. And I know we've spoken and want you to know we're here to support you if you need anything. So
I appreciate
God bless.
that. Thank you.
And I'll echo that as well. And just on top of that, I know most departments have had their elections and all that stuff, and some changes throughout the county. So congrats to all the new chiefs, officers, whatever it may be. Good luck upcoming year. Look forward to working with everyone, and just to everyone, have a safe and happy holiday season.
All right, anybody else?
So before I have an opportunity to forget, because we forgot last year, let's make ourselves a note to not forget to do the board's new elections at the February meeting, because we did that wrong last year, and that was my fault. The Ambulance and Rescue Squad Association meetings are usually held the first Thursday of the month, and this month, the association very kindly postponed that meeting for a week to accommodate my personal loss and the upheaval that brought for the folks in Lexington Park. My husband, Michael Cahall, was the chief at the Lexington Park Volunteer Rescue Squad when he died on the 18th of November. And the absolute outpouring of support and love that my family and his extended family and our department experienced was a truly moving and humbling experience. More than 1,000 people took time this past Friday to pay tribute to him. And my sincere apologies to everybody who got stuck in traffic on Great Mills Road for that. Although I did always tease Michael that I would throw him a parade that would really mess up traffic. So it is important that that we honor the people we lose by continuing the missions they start. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I'll stay here as long as my colleagues are willing to trust my leadership. The last thing that I want to say is in kind of casting around for something that we could do to honor Michael moving forward. His brother made a really good suggestion, and so one of the things that we will be doing, and it's very, very early, there's still lots of legal hoops and things to jump through, but it is our intention to establish a charitable trust based on some of the income from liquidating some of Michael's collections that we hope will allow us to be able to fund the LifeNet service in St. Mary's County and help support the replacement of LifePack monitor equipment for the foreseeable future. It is my hope that in doing that, the passions that my husband experienced in his life will continue to support and protect the people of St. Mary's County that he worked very hard for. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sean. All right, I just like we have anybody from the public, so with that, we'll call the meeting to adjourn. Is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Jay, second by CP to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. Thank you.